Throughout this FOA, we're going to do a little educational discussion where we are evaluating where and how propaganda is used in respectively Eel's song, Susan's House, from 1996, Elvis Presley's song In the Ghetto from 1969, and America's national anthem from 1814.
Okay, so I'm gonna start out telling a little bit about Susan's House, made by Eels, which is an American rock band. It is a very sarcastic and provocative song, which is supposed to tell us as the individual in the public that we need to change what's going on, and that we is putting a focus onto the normality of the wrong things, like that we wouldn't question it if we saw someone get shot or something in the news, and that we're getting way too used to these horrible things.
Yeah, and then according to the Star Spangled Banner, it is the national song of America, and it was made by Francis Scott Key in 1814. And most people are like familiar with the Star Spangled Banner as being a song, but it was originally a poem, and it was later on made into a song. The Star Spangled Banner is a very proud and patriotic song, and it basically sums up everything that America stands for and its whole identity.
Okay, one of the propaganda techniques that are most frequently used in Susan's House is loaded words, where they use words like crazy and indignity in stick fluorescent lights. Um, and they also use the word spewing, which all is used to set a very negative tone, and is also used to show us just how horrible these things are and kind of make it visual for us.
Yeah. Um, to understand the Star Spangled Banner, we have to have a look at the setting because the setting is very specific. It's the Battle of the Fort McHenry during the War of 1812, and even more specifically, it tells the story of the British naval bombardment of Fort McHenry between the mornings of September 13th and 14th, 1814. But that is not explicitly told to us in the text, so we have to read between the lines and figure out ourselves what it is. However, Francis uses a persuasive technique, and he actually alludes to us the historical event in the third stanza with the words, "And where is that band who so battingly swore that blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution?" So the American soldiers actually use the blood from the British to wash out the place, and that kind of appears as being really militaristic and barbaric.
Okay, another thing that is very used in Susan's House and also in Elvis Presley's song "In the Ghetto" is guilt tripping. Whereas in Susan's House is very indirect, and is most seen in one of the last sentences, which is I keep walking by." And this person, who is the I person in this song, is supposed to represent the individual from the Western world. Guilt tripping is used in the way of card stacking, where they just keep on piling up horrible events that you would actually see normally, which is also the thing in Elvis Presley's song, where it's very direct, where he actually says that why can't you see that he needs a helping hand, and is very blaming everyone else and also himself.
Yeah. In the Star Spangled Banner, the use of glittering generalities is massive. For instance, the words brave, God, and peace and gallantly are used, and all these words represent something positive, patriotic, and catchy. So in this case, this propaganda technique is used in order to make the listener agree with what the speaker is actually saying. So they're trying to direct the listener down the same path as uh, as the author wants us to go. Throughout the Star Spangled Banner, the British are being pinpointed as the enemy, and the Americans, they're actually bragging with their victory and their strength. And that is seen here by the words, Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam. In full glory reflected now shines on the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner. Oh, long may it wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. So the last stanza actually suggests that the British, they had no other choice than to head home after suffering this stinging defeat.
Okay, another thing that is very different between the two songs here is the use of plain folks, whereas in the Susan's House they use very common events like and also references to normal places that everyone would go to, like the 7-Eleven, and they say down by Baxter Street, and they say here comes a girl with long brown hair, so it's very average and normal people this is about, whereas in the American anthem it is kind of more big events and proud events and all the highlights of its time.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the last stanza of the Star Spangled Banner, it's actually very crucial because it mixes patriotism with piety in the very best way, and that is also a contrast to Susan's House, for example, which is more indirect. I mean, here it's very proud and it's very patriotic, and here it says, "Then conquer we must, for the case is just." And this be our motto, in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave over the land of the free and home of the brave.